It's Tiger and I'm back with another video. Now today's video, as you can tell from the title, is going to be the best startup set for beginner photographers. Now this is a common question I get asked because I am a photographer. I do have a photography Instagram account. I will link that. I will show you guys, I will also link it in the description, but I will show you guys in just this moment. Disclaimer, if you're looking for a Canon setup, this is not gonna help you. I just wanna let you know before you get further into the video and kind of be disappointed. So this is gonna be a Canon setup. So sorry, Nikon users. Anyway, since that's out of the way, since so many photographers are starting off and they're very confused on what's a good setup that they can use, but they're kind of on a budget, I'm here to solve that problem. If you have the money to start off with a great camera, great. But on my perspective on that is, it's better to get an efficient and a cheaper camera that you can mess with, play with, and master before you move on to high quality cameras, like top tier cameras, because you need to know the basics. I know this sounds so generic, but you need to actually know the basics to become good at taking photos. So let me show you the best setup not the best setup, but this is the setup I used as when I was a beginner photographer to start a photography career and or vibe, you know. I am a photographer but I started somewhere too. I didn't just pop up with the good camera and just started taking dope ass photos. No, I started somewhere. I used to take really trash photos, and let me explain which setup I used as a beginner to have decent photos, and I didn't spend too much money in order to have this setup. So as you can see here, I pulled up my photography Instagram account. I am by no means saying I am a great, super talented photographer. I do believe I am talented, but I still have a lot of things I need to work on. But I just wanted to show you the type of content that I'm posting out. My Instagram account is called Illography, as you guys can see here. If you guys are not following that and you want to see some of my content, hit me with the follow, show some love. Anyways, here's some of my content. Look, so we have this. I like to be very creative with my photos. I don't at first I had no creativity with my photos. They were all flat, they were all bland, they were all less contrast. There was no subject matter, there was no foreground, background, midground, none of that stuff, no background blur. But check this out, I'm gonna show you real quick. If you see here, these are my work, and to be honest, I'm proud of my work. There's a lot more things I want to work on for my photography, but for right now, I am proud of my work. I think that's very important. You need to be proud of your work while acknowledging the fact that you can always be better. Now let's go straight to the setup. All right, so basically what my first camera was a Canon T5i. This was my first camera, starting setup camera, and as you can see here, the cheapest price you'll get for free shipping and no tax is $439. It's not as expensive as a Sony mirrorless camera that most people aspire for, or a Canon Mark III. Let me show you a Canon Mark III 5D. See, look, the cheapest price you're gonna get is $1.5 thousand, and it's also used. It's not brand new. You can get a brand new T5i right now. Oops, sorry about that. Brand new Canon T5i for $440 with no tax added. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna obviously need an SD card, okay? So I used a SanDisk 16 gigabyte SD card as my beginner, and it's really cheap. It's $9.30. And what I did was I got 2 of those just in case, because when you first take your camera out and you take photos, you're gonna just take photos of anything and everything that you find that looks good. So you're gonna get rid of, like, 16 gigabytes seems a lot, but once you're out taking photos like left to right, back to back, it runs out quick, trust me. So get at least 2 or 3 of them. Make sure you have enough space to be shooting all these photos. And finally, the lens. Now the Canon T5i is usually paired with the 18 to 55 millimeter Canon lens. $75, right? Or if you want it used, $50. It usually comes with the Canon T5i if you buy it in a little package set, but I bought a different lens. By no means is this a bad lens. It's a good starter lens. The f goes down to 3.5, but what I got apart from that was a 28 to 105 millimeter. Why did I choose this? So the 28 to 105, basically it had a good, you don't get a wide angle, but you had a good portrait. 28, 30, around there, has a good portrait. And you could zoom in all the way to 50, which is also really great for creative portraits, creative landscapes, which, like, not wide angle landscapes, but like, you get what I'm saying. For example, a photo like this one right here would be like a 50 millimeter, right? And then you can also go really zoomed in, not super zoomed in, but a good amount of zoom for 105 millimeter. I have the Canon lens right here. It's a great overall lens if you are starting off and want to show a variety and a variety of your talent and show other people, especially if you're using Instagram as your platform. You want to show that you're a versatile photographer. You want to be able to show them landscapes, portraits, you know, if you're into car photography, if you're into food photography, anything of that sort, this lens will get you there if you are first starting off. And of course, first starting off is a very tricky question between a lot of people because you don't really know how to start. Like, no one tells you get this, get this, get that. Now I'm telling you guys my steps I took. I got the T5i, I got the Canon 28 to 105 and the SD and a few SD cards, and I was set to go. I went out, took photos until I kept practicing and kept practicing. Now let's do the math here to see how much you're about to spend on your beginner setup. So it was $439 for the Canon T5i, correct? Plus you're gonna spend $150 for the 28 to 105 millimeter lens. That's $150. It'll come out to $589. Let's say you're getting, obviously you need at least one SD card, so that'll be $10. Oh, why did it go to 160? 439 plus 150 plus 10. You're looking at $599 if you buy them all at once. Obviously, if you buy it at a store, they're gonna add tax. So you're gonna multiply this by like 0.10, right? So $59. So basically, you're paying $660 for a camera setup that'll last you a long time. You can use this setup until like you master the camera itself. That is a very good investment and a very good way to start your photography. And since the Canon T5i will most likely come with the 18 to 55, you'll have 2 lenses already to play with. And as far as like the settings go, that is totally on you. You have to learn aperture, ISO, shutter speed, all that stuff. That's totally a different story. So as far as setups go, Canon T5i, get yourself a few SD cards and the 28 to 105 millimeter lens, and I believe you'll be set, because that did it for me. I'm not the best photographer out there, but I can definitely get better and practice on my craft to make myself a better photographer. And everyone can do that. I don't care what kind, like, even if you are labeled the best photographer in the world, you still can get better. There's aspects that you're lacking in this and aspects you're lacking in that you can always boost up. That's how I think about it. But as far as beginners go, I made this video because I was kind of stuck on what I should get as a beginner, and I went with the Canon T5i 28 to 105 millimeter Canon lens and an SD card. Came a long way for me. Now I'm rocking an L lens because there comes a point in time where you won't need the 28-105, or you can still go with it, but you're gonna want something more to have a little more focus and stuff like that. Like, as far as lens go, every lens is different, so I can make another video about that if you guys are interested in learning about the different types of lenses and what they can do. But as far as beginner setups go, I hope this video had helped a lot of beginner photographers, because I always wanted someone to like be like, oh, this is a good setup, you should try it. You know, I'm saying you should try it. $660, not too much. It is a lot of money, don't get it wrong. $660 isn't just easy money to just spend on a camera, but it is cheaper than a lot of other camera setups that you can be getting, and a lot of camera setups that people are aspiring for as beginners. They're like, oh, I want the Sony A7. It's not worth the money if you don't know how to work the basics of a camera. And the T5i is a great camera to work your basics, master aperture, ISO, shutter speed, and once you get that going, you can move on to the 80D, to the Mark, maybe even to a mirrorless camera on Sony, and then work your way around different cameras. I hope this video helped you guys. This was Tiger, and I hope I can see you in the next video.